welcome back once again. At the moment I'm just heading to a local farm. A farmer friend of mine, James, has just given me a shout. He's out cutting some of the hay meadows and he's seen a nice Marsh Harrier which has been showing itself over the last sort of few days really. So I'm heading there now. He's just seen it go through. He's got a nice reed bed and a bit of a pool on his farm as well. So I think possibly this Marsh Harrier could be breeding here. There's been a male and female in the area, and it's a bird we don't really see that often breeding down here. So you know, I'm really kind of hoping tonight. I'm sort of shooting from the hip a bit really. I've just sort of chucked a load of stuff in my bag. My 1DX2 is away at the moment having some work done, and I've got my 5 DSR and 100-400 and a couple of other lenses with me, so I'm hoping that's going to do the trick. But we'll see anyway. Quite looking forward to it. Cracking evening. Still quite bright at the moment, but yeah, let's fingers crossed we get to see the Marsh Harrier. So I've arrived now on location in the field. Just chatted to the farmer, and half an hour before I arrived, the Marsh Harrier was in. Got a really pale head. Possibly thinking it might be a juvenile, I'm not quite sure, but now I'm in the field. It's newly been cut, so as you can see there, quite a large field, 26-acre field, and just behind me there's an irrigation pool they've dug. It's got a reed bed. I can hear warblers in over in the top corner when I was just coming in. So great habitat, get cranes and all sorts in there. Obviously occasional visitors, but yes, such a lovely little spot. So it's been in. I'm tucked up here quite nicely. Got the ghillie suit on, which actually with a newly cut grass field, it really does blend in rather well. Sweltering hot, mind, but still nicely concealed. Got my little stool, and I've just got the 100-400 with me, you know, and it's got the freedom to move around really as well with this on. Bags over there under the cam net, and so far I've seen 2 buzzards that are on the posts, and hopefully they'll resume feeding. As I was coming in I saw one land into the newly cut grass, obviously picking up dead voles and stuff like that. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll get some views. So it's all gone a little bit quiet at the minute. Even the buzzards are not even here hunting. So just a little bit about the Marsh Harrier then. It's quite a localized species. There's probably 400 breeding pairs in the UK, so really not a common bird. Heavily persecuted back in the sort of 60s, and there's quite a resurgence to bring them back. So beautiful bird though, absolutely lovely. Sometimes the juvenile and the female can resemble a buzzard or a black kite in flight, but the males generally have got a really pale head and sort of lighter markings underneath and sort of a brown body, whereas the female and the juvenile are quite sort of dark brown. Unmistakable really with the head coloration, to be honest, but you know, such a striking bird, and I've not really seen many in Cornwall at all. So it's so exciting really to be able to think that, you know, they've been here for about a week. I think they've bred in a reed bed near where I used to live, but it's so hit and miss. I tried to check it out there 2 or 3 nights in a row, but no joy. So you know, just hopefully as the light sort of fades a little bit, got the sunlight behind me, the wind's behind me, so I've got quite a oh, in fact there's a bird of prey. Gotta go. So yeah, I just as I was finishing that last bit of vlogging, the Marsh Harriers just gone off the back over a field of maize heading west. So I'm hoping it's going towards the road, the main road, so I'm hoping it's going to sort of wing its way back. As I was saying before, the wind is actually behind me, and in front of me here is quite a large expanse really, and hoping that, you know, into wind is going to come through this field. They hunt relatively kind of low to the ground, sort of quartering flight as well, so take most of their prey on the ground. So yeah, amazing to see. I took a shot, it's miles away, but I think if you can zoom in at 200%, clean it up, and you can see basically what it is. But I could see the actual pale head from through the lens. But yeah, fantastic to see it. So yeah, massive tick for me locally, and that's a beaut. I'm travelling light tonight, so you know I don't really think I'm going to come away with an awful lot, but just to see it, man, that's superb. So as I've said, I've seen the Marsh Harrier, and sometimes when you see it and it doesn't come in the field or the area you're in, but you know it comes in that area, having been told by the farmer, it's always very tempting then to start, you know, rushing around and chasing it. But to be honest, it's the last thing you want to do. Really, you want to wait for it to come to you, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. But you're chasing it around the fields, and it's just going to show your position. The bird's then going to change its behaviour. It's not going to feed in the area it's feeding. And let's face it, it's stressful enough time for them. So, you know, stick to your ground you're in, and just hope you get the rewards really for being patient. You know, I don't really expect today to get any great shots of a Marsh Harrier, you know, but actually I've seen it already, and I could go home a happy man. Don't get me wrong, I'd love a cracking shot of it hunting, but it's, you know, the thrill of the chase, if you like. You know, it's almost like a hunting instinct, I guess. You know, you're there with the camera. I suppose it's like people with a gun, but that's not my bag. But you know, certainly with the camera, you know, you're there capturing that moment with them. It's you know, it's superb, and it's the what ifs and buts, you know, and maybes. You know, but it's great just to see it, man. I mean, that really is for me. Oh yeah, fantastic, and so unmistakable, and I don't see them that often, but you really can tell that it's a Marsh Harrier. So as I said to you before, today I've got the 100 to 400 with the 5 DSR body, and I know I've always mentioned it, but you've got the 1 times the 1.3 and the 1.6. So full frame with 400 is 400. The 1.3 crop gives you 520, and the 1.6 gives you 640 of reach. So, you know, and that's 640 at reach is at 21 million pixels. The 520 gives you 33 million, and obviously full frame gives you 51. So, you know, you still got effectively going to have a great picture, really, and you've got it in a very light camera outfit. So yeah, it's great just to have this. My 1DX2's in for a bit of a service at the moment. I bought it, but there was a few issues with the sensor. It was dirty, and there was a mark on the focus screen, so that's getting rectified now. So I've got this today, and it's nice to go quite light for a change, and it gives you that more manoeuvrability really as you're panning around, rather than a heavy tripod, and I can just get up and, you know, move location without, you know, relative ease, without having to disturb too much. So yeah, but that's effectively what I'm using today. So it's gone pretty quiet at the minute, but I was just sitting on my chair looking over the brow of the hill, and there's a fox making his way across the field. So obviously the farmer's been in here today, and he's been obviously churning up the ground, cutting the grass for hay, and it's obviously killed a lot of voles and stuff like that. So there's plenty of dead stuff in the grass. So I've seen a lot of carrion, crows and species in here at the moment, picking off stuff, slow worms, voles, all sorts. So the fox is obviously in here now taking advantage of that. So I'm hoping that he might come down my way a bit. But yeah, I've gone down off my chair quite low now, just to get that low aspect shot, hopefully, and just to obviously break my my appearance up, really. Anyway, fingers crossed. So good morning all. This is the following day from the evening I spent up here with the Marsh Harrier. A fantastic evening I had, just watching the Marsh Harrier quartering around the field hunting. It was at quite distance, so you know I didn't really get some great shots, but I also saw the 3 buzzards, 2 fox cubs, adult fox, roe deer, female, and a young roe deer. So, you know, fantastic really, just for, you know, 3 or 4 hours in the evening. So this morning I've just dropped my son off at nursery, and it's now about 8:30. So the light's already coming up and it's pretty harsh, but you know, I've got to go with what I've got, and I've got to pick my boy up a bit later. So I thought I'd come out here for a you know, fair few hours just to see what's about really. In fact, I can now see a bird of prey. Oh, it's a buzzard. There's a buzzard on a post just further down the field, hedge line, and now he's hopped along. Not actually that far away from me. So, because I currently now today I've got the 600 with the 5GSR, with the 1.3 crop on at the moment. I've got 760 reach, and at the other end at 1.6 I've got 960, so 780, 960. So quite a nice bit of reach really. I've just got it rested on a beanbag on the window ledge there. But so the light's just to the side of me at the moment, so it's going to swing around, so I'm going to have to move location. But and the light is quite harsh, but you know, I've just got to go with it. And you know, at the end of the day, I can sit here with a coffee. I've got a half a pasty and a cookie to eat, so I can just enjoy the sights really, and just see if it does turn up. I might be able to get some half decent shots, I hope. But I hope to plug away at this place really for the next week, and maybe do a few more evening sessions. Maybe bring you, hopefully this will be another vlog, but no guarantees, because the Marsh Harrier may move on. It might just be, you know, roaming at the moment. So anyway, fingers crossed, back to it. So it's incredibly quiet at the moment. I've seen 1 buzzard, lots of swallows, and not a lot else really. I did see a large bird of prey off the back, but at the moment, yeah, really quiet. It's about 11:15. Not feeling the love today. I'm not sure whether we're going to be in luck, but I usually prefer really early morning, which would have been better here, but I had to take my son to nursery, and also kind of late evening would be perfect. But like last night, where the sun was beautiful, orange glow coming across, it was perfect. But can't, because I've got to pick my son up again today, so I'm just sort of latching onto a few hours this morning to hopefully get a bit of luck. But still nice to be out, just tucked in nicely behind this hedge here. And yeah, another couple of hours I think, and then we'll head home. But come on, Marsh Harrier, come on. So yesterday when I was here, and I was up the top end, so I was up over there, and the Marsh Harrier was launching itself into this long grass and some wildflowers in there. It was just launching itself in there. Hadn't I been in this position here, it'd been absolutely superb, but that's just one of those things. But yeah, it seemed to target these little areas, and there's one just further up there, and there's the reed bed just at the back, and some willow all the way around. So yeah, it'd have been superb to be this close to see it. So I've had some great shots, but yeah, not as yet. So I'm just going to wrap up soon. It's just approaching midday now, and the sun is so high in the sky, and it's just so bright. Heat haze, everything else is just, you know, really hot today. So I'm going to call it a day, I think. Head home, have some lunch, and go from there. Maybe pop back later on this afternoon before I pick my boy up, just for maybe an hour or two. But a really enjoyable morning. Just seen some the resident buzzard flying around the field. No great shots there, and there's been 2 peregrine falcons right high up in the sky, displaying and having a go at each other, which is quite nice to watch with the 600 as my bins are in the landy. But yeah, all in all, really quite quiet today. And you know, it's going to be really at this time of the day, but I just thought I'd give it a go and just hope for the best. But I'll be back again, and hopefully we'll get to see the Marsh Harrier, maybe get some video and some decent pictures.